Good morning, people. Randall J here with some more coherent drivel. Today, I think I'll talk about the system. And as you've heard me say before, when you're looking at anything, I find it beneficial to look at the big picture. So, after World War II, capitalism served us very, very well because the rest of the world was pretty much destroyed. Europe was pretty much destroyed. Japan was destroyed, Russia was destroyed. And China was still living like a third world country. So the United States, we had it going on. We were making all the money, we had all the technology. We were making all the money. We had all the industry. We were growing this country. And capitalism seemed to be working very well. And the way people are is we grow accustomed to how we're living very quickly. I mean, think about it. 100 years ago, you had an outhouse, no running water, no electricity, no refrigerator. You had to, go and get your water out of the stream or the lake. You didn't have a refrigerator, so you had to think about what you're going to eat every day. People live like that pretty much for millions of years, And now we cannot imagine living that way. So we quickly grow accustomed to how we live and think this is the way it is. But this is not the way it has to be. And see, so in the 50s and the 60s and even the 70s, people were about making life better, better, better. After World War II, it was about how do we make our lives better, better, better. And like I said, economically, the country was doing very well. And people were more considerate of the population back then. We had unions. We had pensions, You didn't have to worry how you were going to retire. You had a good pension. You'd have enough money to go on vacation, have a fishing boat, whatever. Your family was taken care of, okay? And you didn't have to work that much. You could have one job and take care of your wife and a couple kids, own a house, maybe have a hunting cabin, go on vacation, have a boat, with one job. And then, and there was a bunch of social programs. I think healthcare was a lot easier to get. Education was free. You could go to community college for free. What else? Vocational training programs were free. All kinds of things. So it seemed as if we were trying to make the country better and better for everyone. And that was going through the 60s. The economy was great. And into the 70s. But then it really started with Ronald Reagan, started destroying the country. But it really started before him. There was a couple economists that wrote a couple books. I forget their names. But I think that's where the trickle-down thing came from some economist. And who liked this was like businessmen, corporations. Oh, yeah. Why are we paying these people so much money? Why are we giving them pensions? Those unions are really cutting into our corporate profits, And Reagan somehow went along with that, because Reagan was like a puppet man, And anyway, so, when Reagan got into office, rich people tax was 72%. By the time he got out of office, I think it was down to 16%, So that's a lot of money out of the government coffers for things like infrastructure and all these benefits, for humanity, for the poor and the downtrodden to be able to get a foothold in the economy and get jobs and, have health care and education, Those are good for the country. Healthcare and education. It's good for the country. Great retirement. It's good for the country. Good for the psychological well-being of the people. And guess what? You know, when people are taken care of, when they feel happy and secure, they don't go around shooting each other. You know, everybody talks about the gun thing. Oh, it's the guns. No, it's not the guns. And then they say, oh no, the Republicans say no, it's mental health problems. But they won't give you mental health medic attention, medical attention, right? You can't go see a psychologist for free, So if you had those things, healthcare and education and great retirement, then you're happy and secure. You don't have all these anxieties and frustrations that make people crazy, to make them so frustrated with their lives that they go around shooting each other. That's a government issue. It's not about the guns. It's about the mental health of society, all of society, not a few crazy individuals. So we get used to systems, and they've been stealing from us, getting rid of the unions, getting rid of pensions. Also, Reagan shut down the insane asylums. Those are very beneficial for people that need them and for society. Who likes seeing all these homeless people all over the place? Nobody. So let's help them. Let's open insane asylums, and let's open a bunch of rehab centers for the drug addicts, and let's start vocational training so they can get, jobs that most of us don't want to do anymore, I mean, you can teach somebody how to be a welder or carpenter or whatever, anything, just, fix air conditioning, vocational programs. That would help society. Now, and people say, where are we going to get the money? Where are we going to get the money? We used to get the money from the rich people. We used to make them pay taxes. And then we'd take that money and put it into social programs. See, all these things need to be changed. The whole system needs to be changed. And we got to stop giving all this corporate money to the oil and gas industry. You complain about the price of gas, but behind your back, the taxes they're taking out of your paycheck every week. Also, a large part of those taxes go to oil companies. You're already paying at the pump, but you're paying through your paycheck too, because we give them subsidies, like billions of dollars. When you turn on the news, they'll turn you against poor people, against the welfare system. Oh, those moochers, blah, blah, blah. But really, the corporations are mooching 10 times, actually more like hundreds of times more money from you, the taxpayer. The corporations are taking the money from you, the taxpayer, more than people that need it. People that need it, need it. Those corporations don't need it. And when you take away all the corporate welfare, then like green energy is cheaper than oil, and we can put up, you tax the rich, you put up the DC power lines and solar panels in Arizona and Nevada. The DC power lines take it across country. So the whole system needs to change at the same time, which means you have to change your mindset. And I'm talking to everybody, not just Democrats, not just Republicans. I mean, Republicans, you want this stuff. Wouldn't it be nice to have free health care, free education for your children? Wouldn't it be nice to have a smoother economy where you can have a better pension and great retirement? These things are all possible, but guess what? Your Republican presidential people, they're not going to do it. They're getting paid. They're on the corporate side. And the Democrats aren't much better. Democrats are all bought off now too. So what you need is a man with moral integrity. Like Bernie Sanders is such a man, but he's not running for president. So who do we have with moral integrity? There's Marianne Williamson and there's Kennedy, and if I got to pick out of those two, they're both great, great people. I'm going to pick Kennedy because he's been a lawyer for 40 years and he's sued Monsanto and he wants to get the poison out of our food and he wants to take that corporate welfare away from them and give it to places that are helpful and useful for everyone and the country. So, I don't know. I guess I talked enough about the system. But see, we have to change our mindset.